Hey, welcome back to Rust Order Garage 57 International Dually Project. Previously, the 58 Chevy Dually Project. So, last night I strained myself greatly and rolled this dually chassis in here myself, which is still a heavy beast, even though I shortened it up from a 153 wheelbase, was it, down to 114. But it's in here. So now comes the time to start making a truck out of stuff that wasn't supposed to be put together. And what I mean by that, of course, is the Chevy chassis was never designed to work with an international cab. And while this is nothing, compared to putting a Rambler on a G-body, there are some challenges. Mainly, the biggest challenge I see is going to be the steering box, because the International was a front steer setup, so the steering box was way up in the front of the chassis. The Chevy, the steering box is rear steer, so it's closer to the Firewall. Combine that with the fact that I'm pretty sure this cab is shorter than the Chevy cab, and quick measurements on where the cab placement is on the chassis, it looks like the cab, because it's shorter probably, it's going to be further forward on the frame than the Chevy was. So what that does is it moves the steering box even closer to the Firewall. Is it a big deal? We're going to get past it no matter what, but there's no way, if you think that the stock Chevy steering box and big steering shaft is going to work, it's not going to work, because it's just going to be way long, because I think the cab's going to be much further forward than the Chevy was, just because it's a shorter cab. So we will work around that. At least we're not building a stock restored truck here, so it doesn't matter that much. Probably end up cutting the steering shaft, pretty close to the steering box, running a U-joint, and then angling the shaft as needed. But I'm not going to know until I get the cab down and get an idea of where it's going to land. But first thing I'm going to do is I have to remove all of the factory 56 Chevy cab mounts, because they're in the way of everything we got to do to use the International. And there's a Chevy cab mount next to the big International one that I have to use. It's going to stick out. If I can do this, get a hold of it. It's going to stick out a lot further on the cab than the Chevy ones did, and it's also in the wrong location. And then, of course, in the back, we have these guys here that are going to mount right to the frame rail like that. And they actually don't feel so bad. They're not really just, they're not totally junk worn out. But regardless, the factory Chevy mounts are in the way. So once again, my favorite thing to do, we're going to have to knock out a bunch of rivets and get these out of here. Brackets all removed, all in good shape. If I had to reuse them for something else, I like to save stuff and not trash everything. So yeah, it's time to get an idea what we're doing here. Quick measurements. I'm going to take a shot at this and see how it lines up. I found a couple factory areas here that I'm going to try to line up the rear mounts with and see if I can get it So it looks good and looks close, and the wheels are, you know, in the steering, wheels are in the wheel arches, and steering looks like it will work, and we can wiggle things around. But first I'm just going to lower it down and just get an idea of what it looks like. All right, let's start lowering this down. Let's see what things are looking like. And hard to tell if I'm close on the wheelhouse. Actually, it looks like the wheel has to go back. What are we off here? That's good. This is not good. There. Oops, too much. This frame should fit. In the nose, because the frame rail should be the same width, but it looks like it's just a little close. Wow, we're talking. The Chevy must have pinched in a hair, or the International pinched out. All right, we're in there. I got to look at the back and see where those mounts are landing. All right, well, I've just got this lowered down pretty close, I think, to where I'd like it, and must be living right, because the wheel looks pretty good in the wheelhouse. Still, the whole thing has to still come down some. But you look back here at these mounts, I found a factory hole in the frame. Where are you? You're over there. There you are. That lines up, or can line up, with the International mount. So I think what I'm going to do is drill that out and bolt both mounts up in that position, and then see where the front mounts will land and just make everything line up. I think that'll work. Well, there it is. And I am tired. I'm wiped out. I'm wiped out. Moved it outside, drilled a ton of holes, got the mounts all in there. The half truck is now a truck again. Pretty cool. Used the factory mounts from the International in the back and in the front. All bolted up to the frame, and it is good to go. Starting to look like a truck again, which is pretty cool. Whew. I think when we come back, start talking about putting a motor and transmission in this thing, because I don't think I'm going to take this body back off. I got to make a front mount for underneath where the radiator goes, because there's nothing there right now. It's all just being held by the cab. So I got to do that, but I'm going to try to fly, I think, the motor, trans, and transfer case in this thing right through the front. All right, it's another day. I'll try to get through this without sneezing too much, because I've been mowing the lawn. I got to get the hood off this thing. We got just some preliminary things to do before we start talking about putting an engine and transmission in this thing. I've decided, reality, I'm not building a show vehicle here, nor am I doing a full restoration. So I'm not taking the body back off. It's on, it's staying on, and we're going to work around it. There's actually enough room underneath that when the time comes, I can fix the rust in the floor and the step area right with the body on the frame. There's plenty of room because the chassis is so narrow. But we're not going to be running a hood on this car, on this truck. So the hood's got to come off. See if I can get this off without hurting it, because the hood may go back on in the future if we decide to put a step side bed or something on this. and build it to a regular big pickup truck. Let's see, can I reach in here? It's a big truck. I don't like that. Big hood. It's a lot of metal. All right, hood hinges come off next. Since we're not running a hood, we don't need hood hinges. But again, we'll save them and save the hardware just in case the hood and the hood hinges go back on in the future. All right, next thing. Ugh. Try to get this firewall cleaned up a little bit. Of course, we're going to keep the electric wipers. That's a big advantage. Also something that the 58 Chevy did not have. So there's an advantage. Battery, of course, we're not going to put it on the firewall again. That's going to go somewhere else. Maybe. That bolt's in there. All right, we'll save the battery tray for something else. Not to be mounted on the firewall again, but maybe under the truck or something? I don't know. We'll figure something out. On the ground for now. And I want to get this firewall as clean as I can get it, because we're going to run air conditioning. So I don't want anything on the firewall in the way. I want as much room as possible. I don't necessarily think the engine's going to be right up against the firewall, but just to make sure we got room, we'll clean it up best I can. Plus it'll look better, even though no one's ever going to see it. I think that looks a lot better. Pretty much everything gone except for the electric wipers. I'll keep the plate there for the master cylinder for the moment, because I don't know exactly where the master I'm going to run is going to be. Hopefully around that area, maybe a little lower, we'll see. I'm going to run, we feel kind of weird or different plans for this. I plan on running Hydro Boost on this, but since this truck is manual steering, I'm going to run a regular standard power steering pump, and it'll just be for the Hydro Boost unit. And for power steering, like I said, I want to see if maybe get a little electric Prius unit or something and put that in there. But for now, I think this is cleaned up enough to get the engine and transmission in there. However, one more thing I want to do before we get into the engine and transmission, and that is the steering box, because I want to know where it's going to be. So when we do the exhaust mock-up, get the engine in the right location for clearance for everything. And what I plan on doing is taking an original 56 steering box with the big long shaft and chopping it off and actually turning it into a short shaft with a double D U-joint on the end as close to the box as possible so we can get an angle up to the Firewall. So I don't care if the steering wheel is like a bus, as long as it works. But we're going to do that first before we get into the engine and transmission. So this will probably be a relatively quick video, but we got a lot done. It's actually a truck again. Body's on the frame. Yeah, shaking you all over the place. Body's on the frame. Firewall's cleaned up. This is going to come together pretty fast because, like I said, the body's not coming back off. Not going to get crazy. If I want to paint the chassis, I can do it with the body on. There's plenty of room, but probably not going to happen. This is a mostly parade vehicle, car show type vehicle. And yeah, it doesn't need all that stuff. Not for the shows this is going to. So yeah, that'll be it for this. So thanks for watching. Thanks for following. Thanks for subscribing. What's on me? I'm all dirty. Ugh. I'll see you in the next one. Later.